Hey guys, how are you? What's going on? I'm super excited. Guess what? Davi Davenport Live is here.
This is how hot it gets on DAVI DAVENPORT Live. You know, I started that. Look,
I'm out here with Don Juan from the lipstick to the pulpit. Davi Davenport Live right here. And guess what? Nobody loves you more than I do. Oh my God, guys, I am so excited. Congratulations again and welcome to a segment of Davi Davenport Live. This month, we're celebrating Black history, but I say this to everyone all the time, being a Black woman, Black history is every single day for me, guys. It's every month, it's every minute of my life. However, what I decided to do since the whole world is celebrating us, I decided that I would introduce you, maybe not introduce you to so many people that you're meeting, you already know them, but that I would reintroduce or invite some of my dear friends and some of the superstar celebrities into your home. Now, today, Sunday, February the 25th, is a very special day because I have three women that I highly respect and I love, and I also call them sisters, and they're part of the mainstream entertainment industry. Excuse me, got a little tongue tie, guys, but they're also a part of just that holistic living, that amazing, amazing lifestyle. Now, Honeycomb has been pegged as being one of the groups with the greatest longevity. When you think about being founded in 1968, and when you look at one of the founding members, you'll say, there's no way. What were you in your mother's womb when the group was founded? There's no way at all that you could be a part of that. But yes, she is. And then the amazing two other members that are there, Wendy and Kathy, that are part of the group, flutists, vocalists, just pure geniuses. But one of the things, and one of the many things that I love about these ladies, it's really their authenticity. And I'm going to bring them onto the stage now. I have a bunch of things that we're going to share with you today. But people around the globe have pegged these amazing women as having music that speaks to your heart. You know how you have music and you say, you know what, I like that song, but maybe it didn't do something for me. Well, this music, Honeycomb, gives you the music that speaks to your heart, inspires you. I'll tell you this also, there's some good lovemaking music also, guys. Don't ever tell you that for sure. It inspires you to be the best person that you can be. So I'm going to invite two of the members in. One of the members is going to be joining us shortly. I'm super excited. Tonight will be a night to remember. What I want for everyone tuning in tonight, because you know that Davi Davenport Live is all about inspiring you. It's all about motivating you. And it's also about making you tap into what the best version of yourself that you can be. So a lot of you know that already. If it's your first time tuning into Davi Davenport Live, please don't make it your last. And thank you so much. And let me introduce you or reintroduce you to the superstars of Honeycomb, the ladies of the hour. What's going on? Hey, guys.
Hey, Davi.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited. So Shelly, I'd like you to introduce yourself, and Wendy, introduce yourself. These are two of the ladies. Shelly is one of the founding members and the actual lead singer and the team lead of the entire group. Shelly, will you tell everybody and just introduce yourself to the viewer of Davi Davenport Live?
Hey, everybody. I'm just so glad that we're here. We're waiting for Kathy. She'll be in momentarily. Yes, I am Shelly Clark, original member, and I just will correct one thing. I am not really the lead singer. We all sing lead in this group, and you know, we have a great time. And of course, it started in 1968, and I met Edna for the first time on set at the Andy Williams TV special. We didn't even know each other. I knew the other girl, Carolyn Willis. She brought me in. So after that show, we signed because Edward Holland from the amazing songwriting team, Holland, Dozier and Holland, he was watching, and he sent for us very shortly thereafter.
Wow, wow. And so, Wendy, I mean, you're connecting. I just want to hear a little. I've heard you play your flute, mesmerized. I'm super excited that you guys are going to be at Vibratos on the 10th of March. We're going to be talking about that during the interview as well today. But can you introduce yourself and just how did you connect with Honeycomb and where did this start? Just briefly, we're going to go down, but how did it all start for you with Honeycomb?
Oh my goodness, how much time do we have? So good, Doc. It's a pleasure here. And thank you for having us. It really is fun to see you always. You've always got this great energy, and so it's good to see you. So thanks for inviting us. But I was on the road, shoot, I don't know, a little past 10 years or so ago, and Kathy, she hit me up on an email that said, "Hey, I've been talking to this beautiful woman that's looking to put a group together." And it turned out to be Shelley. And so when I got back, we got together and we talked it up, and it turned out to be Honeycomb. And so here we are. We just decided to get it together and recreate some of the beautiful music that Honeycomb has. And so, yeah, that's how I got started. And it's been 10 years. This year is 10 years.
What?
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah, 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many times you see groups get together, especially now in 2024, or even you'll see some of the younger groups get together, and then you'll look up in 10 years and they're not together anymore. 3 years from now, they're not talking to one another anymore. And so many people ask me, and when I told them that you guys were coming on the air, they go, I want to hear about the longevity. How did they maintain it? We know. So let's just talk about the 10 years, guys. We don't even have to go. We'll go back and scroll down memory lane and talk about Sonny and Cher Live and Merv Griffin and everything else. And we're going to get Kathy on also. But let's also talk about the 10-year period and what that looked like for the three of you and how that started. I'm going to let you start, Shelley, and just kind of give us, how were you 10 years ago? Where were you standing? Where were your feet planted when you said, hey, this is what's happening now?
I actually spoke to my husband, Berdine, about it. And I said, let me get your thoughts on this. And he said, that's absolutely perfect. And he said, we both remembered that the longtime drummer of Earth, Wind and Fire was married to a very gorgeous lady who was also a singer. And so I gave Berdine a birthday party at Mr. Chow's. It was a dinner, and he invited John, and John brought Kathy. And I said, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk to her. So I did there, and I said, what do you think about this? Because we have such a great legacy.
Yes,
we should just move it forward. And she said, I like the idea. I said, yeah, but you've got to find one more girl that's just like us. And so she said, I know the perfect person. And so that turned out to be Wendy, and the three of us. And Wendy was touring with was it Glenn Miller Orchestra, Wendy? I think, were you out with Glenn? Yes, you were out with Glenn. And actually, Wendy is the only female artist of color to tour with the legendary Glenn Miller Orchestra. So that.
Shelley, is that what I understand, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but Wendy wasn't even thinking about singing before at all. It was just, she was like, it's about my flute, it's about my flute, it's about my flute.
My flute.
My flute. And
right.
then, can you tell us what made you decide, I'm going to do this? Obviously, you haven't had to give up your amazing instrument, but what made you say, you know what, I'll go ahead and give this a try. I'll make this happen.
Bills.
Having to pay my rent. Having to pay the rent, girl. Seriously. You go to the big city from my small town, from Virginia Beach, by way of Southampton County. But when I moved to LA, I thought, man, I'm going to be in one of those big orchestras on stage. I don't ever want to be seen. I just want to be heard. And so those chairs are tenured in LA, and those orchestral seats and such. So I just couldn't get in. And, I knew I could play good enough to get in, but they never leave those seats. So I'm fresh out of college, so I'm ready, right? But I went to the Music Connection, and I thought, let's go in here. And I ended up auditioning for a trio of girls that were doing the Marvelettes. And so I've always loved Motown and girl groups and stuff like that. And so I auditioned and I got the part. I was the girl that showed up with blue jeans and tennis shoes. I got there, everybody was glammed up and everything, but they saw something in me, and I'm so glad that they did. And that's how I started singing. And we just started doing little shows around town and such, and it took off from there. I started auditioning for other people, and Ray Charles caught wind of me, and then from there, man, it just I started getting gigs with a whole lot of people, and Pearl Dean just kind of went and sat down for a while, but she and I are still best friends. So here we are with another great girl group. So I love group singing. It's one of my favorite things. So I think the journey has been great. And, hey,
when you think about what women really mean when we connect with one another with all authenticity, so many times we'll see a divide. What I see with Honeycomb is not just the massive music greatness that you've created, but also I see a combination of love and support of one another. And that's why so many people, Shelly, I know for a fact that, you spoke about it being mandatory, that your music was empowering. And so can you tell us a little bit about why that was so important to you? And then I want Wendy as well to speak about why that was important to her with joining the group.
Well, at the time in the 70s, I have to say that was just a very different thing, that our songwriters took a leap of faith. First, they were young Black males, and I believe that they put themselves in the head of a woman and sort of thought to themselves, we should write music where women are speaking to men, and it's not all, rosy and great all the time. And what would a woman really want to say? And they came up with the great titles like, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show, Stick Up Highway Robbery. We have that song that we really love. The song we bonded on when we first met was The Day That I Lost You Was the Day I Found Myself. And so here, and that's something.
That really is the day I found myself was the day that I lost. I think a lot of women or men or anybody that's tuning in, that's a powerful statement. The day I lost your butt was the day
I found myself. Right?
Wow.
So we have to credit our young team of writers that took a leap of faith and just said, we're gonna do something really different here. And it caught on like wildfire. And I had girls around the world, writing. I don't think we had email back then, but we got letters and fan mail saying that we helped them through relationships and through breakups and that kind of thing. So I'm just very happy our music was able to help and support women.
Wow. And also while we're here that we have some amazing people that have tapped in. Timothy Bellavia, I love you. Timothy.
He did our dog. Timothy.
My best friend. She said, I love this. Belita Spellman, my sister, she said, hey, sis, L.A. Lim is on the air. I invited L.A. Lim to come on and surprise you ladies. He said, I want this to be your show, Davi. He said, I love this, ladies. George Long, we love you so much. He said, this is awesome. Love it. And M. Clark said, fire, 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 guys. So thank you so much. We appreciate everyone. That's amazing, Shelly. I mean, that's more of what's needed right now. We're standing at a very pivotal time in our lives, in my opinion. And right now, what's very much needed is that we need to have, for anyone that's tuning in right now, you're tuning in to Davi Davenport Live. We have the amazing group Honeycomb on. If you're just tapping in, I know you know the group. They're also the first ladies of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Shelly is Verdine White's amazing wife. And we're also going to introduce you to all the other ladies and their husbands. I have some photos I want to share. But what the girls just said is that it's about inspiring. It's about being inspirational. The day I found myself, the day I lost you is the day I found myself. That's a very powerful statement. Somebody else might say, what does that mean? No, that means that, you know what, I needed to separate myself to find me. And so those lyrics are powering. So Wendy, when you realize that this is who Shelly was, because I know you did. You're the kind of girl that does her due diligence. You see this amazing group. You're familiar with the group. You see this amazing woman. You see everything that's going on. You're a flute player. How did you say, you know what, I do want to bond with this. This works for me.
Well, you know what? I've always been one of those people in the industry that takes on more than she probably should. Because it's, I don't know. I'm just that girl, and I trust that that the journey will carry me, safely from A to B to wherever, and I just take on great projects. And I thought that this was one, and I just decided, hey, let's give it a shot. And I love the music. The music of Women Cone is just like, hey, the show must go on, honey. So I just decided let's give it a shot. And when we first met, it was a kindredness. We just really dug each other, and we laughed all the freaking time. I'm like, look, chop, chop, we're supposed to be working, and we're
back to work, ladies.
Yeah. So who doesn't like a good time, and with women that are that have a sisterhood and that sort of thing. So it just worked. So we're just being together and working together, and our blend is really good. So that's very important. And so I just thought, why not? So here we are.
Wow, 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 wow. Shelly, I wanted to bring you back up because when you think about what Wendy says, that she was like, wow, wow, wow. What does that say to you? Because you guys, you can't travel the world. You can't spend the level of time you spend together. And I know this is your baby as well. This is something that's very meaning. This is your baby. So when you hear someone saying, wow, 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 how does that speak to your heart? And then I also want to ask you guys about relationships. I want to ask you about being, married to some very powerful men. We have some pictures that I want to share and some videos. But I also want to just speak about, just my first start is like speaking about sisterhood, because you're two powerful women in the industry. And this is also Shelly's baby that she said, I want you in. And then you're also, Wendy, your music industry is your baby. So what does that say to you, Shelly? What is that? How does that speak to your heart?
I just say that, it's just so easy to become divided. And, sometimes women have opinions, or, they have a certain way of doing things. We just we have a group chat, first of all, and we just sort of throw it in there and see what everybody is thinking. And, even if we say blah, 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 that's my 2 cents. but at least, we're saying what's on our heart and what's on our minds. And I think that everybody has to be heard. So, and, Verdine always brings up, he said, there are no girls groups that really stay together. You can count them on one hand. And so, that's because it's so easy to just, for lack of a better word, everybody gets bitchy and forget it then. I'm just going to, do my own thing. But I mean, I think we put in the extra mile, the extra work to communicate. And really, that's everything right there. I mean, look at Earth, Wind, and Fire. They've been through the same thing where they have had to talk it out. Members come, members go. In this group, we don't want members coming and going. We just want to stay ourselves and work it out. So
what's really crazy, and when you say that, thank you, about it's so easy. And for anyone that's tuning in right now, listen to this. This also applies to our everyday lives. It's so easy because Davi Davenport Live is, I like to, well, for you guys, it's not introduced because the world knows you already, but people are getting a chance to meet you up close and personal. And it's really about, for me, about it being an inspiration, because people are losing their jobs right now to AI and everything else. People are having so many things go on, relationships breaking up because of financial issues. So when you say we are committed to one another, we're committed, that means, and I had a bunch of people, and I also want to just tap in because I always like to say hello to people that are, Kathy Merritt says she's trying to get in right now. Selwyn said, hello, Shelly. Well, she said, he said, hello, Miss Shelley. What's up? He want to say Uncle Selwyn's in the house. And also,
Oh,
she has said she's calling from Italy. She stayed up all night to tune in, guys. We love
oh,
her so doggone. She's a
wow,
beautiful, amazing artist, beautiful voice. Let me
wow.
ask, let me ask you this. How do you balance? Because so many people have asked me, how are you balancing being married? Because you've spoken about Verdine White, everybody knows, and Wendy want to introduce you to her amazing husband. How do you balance, you both of you ladies, I want both of you to answer this. How do you balance having a mega career, traveling the world, and your husband's doing the same thing and still keep the love alive? I mean, I just, my show is all about, I'm about positivity, but I want someone to tune in because there could be somebody out right now that's two doctors married. And they're like, we're going to get a divorce because we don't have enough time. But what about quality time? So how does that work for you, ladies? Wendy, I'm gonna let you start first.
Mhm.
You know what? I think it helps to be able to do this, that we do the same thing, that we're in the same industry,
Wow.
for us anyway. So we
Yeah.
understand the game. We understand that that's how it rolls sometimes. You're, sometimes you're on the road and sometimes you're at home. So we can be ships in the night like that. And the fact that we're best friends and that we really love each other. We understand what it's like, and it just makes it makes it so much nicer when we get together, you know.
I
So
bet you
we
those
never
ships in
have
the
a
night are
problem.
probably fun.
And sometimes it's really nice to have a little break. Just sometimes because
Hey.
I for
Don't
me,
get in trouble. Don't you
I
let
like
us get in trouble now.
solitude.
I know, right?
You know what I mean. But
Yeah.
solitude is good. It's good to be, with yourself sometimes, just kind of recenter. And then when
Yeah.
we get back together, it's just great. So it's balance. Balance is my favorite word. So we figure it out and it
And
works out.
can you share a little bit about your husband before we ask Shelley to also speak about Verdine and all the
Oh,
greatness? Because
yeah.
you guys have 93 years of marriage amongst the three of you. You have 93 years, and we're going to work on getting Kathy in here also. We have 93 years of. Tell us a little bit about your husband for any of the viewers that don't know.
Well, I'm 20 of those 93 years, and we've been together for, I don't know, perhaps I don't know, maybe 25, 27, something like that. So we've been best friends, best pals for a long time. And my husband's Romeo Brene. He's from Oklahoma, and we met on a gig, and this is back like the early
Ooh.
'90s. Um, yeah, we were on a gig together, and I was working with two of my friends, Sydney Davis and Teresa Walker. We went by the name of Harmony, and so we would show up on the gigs, and we would do like a little swing set or a little Motown set or something, and then we'd leave. We'd tilt the room and leave. And so we saw a guy that was on the show. There was another band. It was the only brother on the thing, and I was like, oh, he's cute too. I was like, we were telling each
Look at you.
there's a brother on the gig. So back then, honestly, there were not a lot of people of color on those gigs. And so I instantly saw him, and we went to the lobby, and he came out and he saw us and came out and he complimented our show. And so there was a little connection right there. I remember it was something special about him. And from there, we just started. We worked for the same agency, and so we started working together. And the rest is history.
Wow. So you actually met on a gig.
Yeah, yeah.
My grandmother and my
So
grandfather met out. That's how they fell in love. And that's what you guys' story was also really positive for me is, my grandparents, my grandmother was a concert pianist. She's in heaven now. I got her name tattooed on me. And
Oh,
yes, I'm going to graduate my mother tomorrow. So I'm always like, God, my grandmother and my mother are going to be here. They're all, in heaven, so taking care of me. But they met also because my grandfather was a violinist and my grandmother was a pianist. And they traveled the world together. And she talked about how mystical and magical that was and what that meant to her. And that's what I see in all of you. And that's amazing. So, Shelley, let's talk about you and that Verdine White baby. Because your know he's something else.
Right? People don't know how I pulled off 43 years. I don't either. But first, I'll speak on behalf of Kathy because she's got 30 of those 93, whatever you said, years. And I believe that she and John, am I right, Wendy? Did they met through music also, right? They were
I think so. I think so.
maybe touring together, and I can't remember the artist. It had to be like an Eric Benet or a Tina Marie or something or other. But we all pretty much met through music, and so maybe that's the cohesiveness that we all share, as as Honeycomb with our guys. And I have to say that Wendy's husband is sometimes our MD when we travel, and so that part we have a built-in MD if we ever need one.
You need it. Oh wow!
And he's great.
It's good to have the diversity amongst it. Usually, successful groups will have people that have multiple facets within that. That's how you're able to sustain yourself. If we're traveling around the world, we need to have people that know how to do different things. And congratulations on that. We're working on getting Kathy inside right now. She messaged and said she's wanting to get in for sure. Somebody messaged and said, how do they keep the bodies that they have? That's one of the questions. Where the bodies come from? Out of all the questions, they say, where the bodies come from?
Where the bodies? You go ahead, Wendy.
They said, the question say, where did the ladies' bodies come from? I mean, what is it? How do you maintain that physical fit life? Traveling the world and doing everything else. How do you do it?
I don't know. I think for me, I'm naturally, thankfully, like a fairly small person. So I've never really had a big problem. But you know what? I can really dive into some red wine, and then I know when it's time to put it away because it starts.
Wait. Well, I don't.
Wait. Let's go back to Shelly. Wait a minute. What'd you say, Shelly?
Well, I don't. I don't know when to put it away.
Shelly said that makes one of us, baby.
I never will forget when they asked Beyonce that question, and what do you do in workout? She said, "Look, have you ever seen one of my rehearsals and one of my shows? That is a workout." Yeah. And so I don't have time to go jogging really because she gets her cardio in. And I have to say, this particular era, as we are rehearsing for vibratos, that's where I'm getting most of my exercise. Wow. And so as you mentioned, that'll be March 10th. But of course, it's been an ongoing process. You just don't start rehearsing, you have to back it up a little bit. And shout out to our amazing choreographer, Darian Henning, who keeps us, stepping on stage. And he's the one that has bumped our stage game up quite a bit. So we're not just the average, what do you call it, two-step back and forth, type of group. We really what you call work the stage. So we're happy to have Darian helping us.
Shout out to Darian. Shout out to you. Absolutely. So you talk about your performances. Now you have the choreographer, and shout out to that. We always need people to help us on our journeys. Are there any of your performances, whether they're, from years ago or whether they were just the other day? I know we've got Rose Bowl to talk about. We've got, Hal Awards to talk about. We have Sonny and Cher to talk about it and all. And oh my God, for any of you that you didn't know, you saw me flash this up. And I put this on the bottom of the screen. Started in 1970. First group to perform on Soul Train, baby. So that's super exciting. Are there any of your performances that that really just resonate in your heart? You're like, no, they could be more than one. But this one we killed it. This one we love. This one stood out to us.
I have to say in the vintage group, the Apollo really stands out for me because we were on that bill with George Clinton and the Funkadelic Parliaments. I'm telling you the truth. He's my Leo brother, another father. And it was just amazing because that show was like what is it? 3 shows a day and four. I mean, through the week, and then four on the weekends. I don't know. It was crazy, but
Three
when
a
you
day?
have great people, oh yeah, it's like all day. Yeah, that was back in the day. Um, but so that show with the original Honeycomb was the one that stood out for me. We had so much fun. We messed with each other on stage, especially the final night. It's sort of mandatory that you go on stage and mess with the group before you or after you. And so that was just a great concert, great tour. And so in our recent, Honeycomb,
Sure.
I think I like, for me, would be the Rose Bowl when we played for at the Rose Bowl Stadium, and it was just amazing because it was kind of very different sort of show for us. We're not really the gown and gloves type of act, but we did gown and gloves at the Rose Bowl because it was just that kind of a situation and part. And it was great. Shout out to Ralph Dudley for helping book us on that.
Wow, that's amazing. So, and I mean, a lot of artists don't have the opportunity. You think about Hollywood Bowl, Rose Bowl, Orchestra Hall, or anything of those magnitude. A lot of times, artists don't have the opportunity to touch anything close to that. And before we go on to the next question, that's going to revolve around that, Wendy, for you, like what performance just really said? And then I want to also, we have some amazing comments coming in, but what really stood out or just touched your heart? Which one? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I text Shelly this morning and I watched the video she sent me that was from the first performance from Soul. And I told her, I said, don't think I'm goofy, but I was laying in my bed. And I was like, I teared up because, and that's in the name of God. And and in this streaming, it was because I saw someone that I personally know, a group of people that I personally know, doing something that they love, doing something that, that's what I saw. And so it made me think anything is possible. Look at this Black excellence and all of the greatness. So what stood out to you, Wendy? What are some of the moments that you say this was it?
Are you asking about Honeycomb? Is that what you're
At
asking?
this time, I am. At this time, I am. And then I'm definitely, we're going to be delving into your personal careers. But for
Oh,
Honeycomb,
me. Because
greatest
I wanted
moment.
to answer the Honeycomb question.
Yes,
And I
right
want to
now.
say, I do. And I want to say, I'm just I'm so proud of the group Honeycomb. And I remember one of my favorite moments is watching them perform on the Soul Train show, because we all watch Soul Train, right? And so just watching that performance there for me was like iconic. So I always dig watching Edna and Shelley and Carolyn do that thing. So brava. For me, uh, highlights for me, I don't know, that's a tough one. I've been really fortunate to be on some really cool stages. So uh, I don't know. I guess I'll tell you, the highlights are up and down. I'll tell you this one little quick one. Um, Ray Charles. I'm on stage. I think it's some classic place. I've forgotten where it is, but I think it was somewhere in San Francisco or somewhere. But anyways, it's a stage and it has a crack in it. And so one of my first shows, and we stand back, and when it's time to sing, "I Can't Stop Loving You," the Raylets are supposed to step up and hit that mark. And my high heel got stuck in the crack of the stage. And so I thought, this can't be happening, right? Just got
No.
here. So, and so I asked the head lead, Raylet. She was standing to my right. She was singing first, I was singing second, and there were, of course, three others. And so I leaned, I said, "Stella," I said, "my shoe is stuck in it." She said, "Step out of it."
Oh,
And so I
I love your
did.
shoe.
Stepped out of that high heel shoe and left it back there, like about whatever 6 feet away, and I just walked up on my tippy toe and one heel, like. So I just stepped up there and I made it, in time for that first note. But I always remember that. That's one of the things. Like, man, the show must go on.
Yes.
But
I don't care what's
there's
happening,
so
the show
many
must go
great-
on.
The
That's
show
right.
must go on, honey.
Yes.
But there are a lot of. I just learned a lot from a lot of different people over the years, and great moments. Barry White is one of my favorites because I love orchestral music, and to hit it with some soul and R&B, and the great Barry White. Doesn't get too much better
Oh,
than me.
wow.
So I think that's probably one of my favorites. Glenn Miller Orchestra to grace so many great halls and do just fabulous concerts all over the world. It's always
Yeah.
been
Oh
a
my
really
God,
fun thing.
congratulations. And that's really one of the things that when I think about you expanding and you're talking about the different things, like that's why that's why each one of you, this is like when you date a man, are we evenly yoked? And so when
Mm.
I see three of you on the stage for me, because I had the opportunity the first time to see you perform at Vibratos. And L.A. Lim, who's on right now, Lim is on. He's like, love me some Roman Burdine, honey. And then Timothy said again, Kathy was the sounds of the Supremes. That was correct. Selwyn said, I'll be in LA soon, ladies. And Kathy Merrick said she said, I'm giving it a try, ladies. And Louisa said, hi, Shelly, and she will see you guys online.
Louisa.
I love Louisa and Larry. They're going to actually be on March the 17th. For everyone that's tuning in, we're going to have the amazing Larry Dunn Orchestra. Larry said, doing it and doing it well. That's right, Larry. Just tapped in all fire signs. When I think about being evenly yoked, it's so important when with any relationship that we're evenly yoked. And when I see you guys performing on stage, and I had the opportunity, Lim and I went out. Actually, Lim took me out for that performance. LA Lim from DAVI Radio Los Angeles. For anyone that's tuning in, please check out LA Lim every single Sunday, guys, from 2 to 6 p.m. That is Pacific Standard Time. So as Lim says, check your time zone, guys. But check him out. Go to DAVIRadiolive.com. That's DAVIRadiolive.com. When I saw you guys perform for the first time, I said, that for me, that's the guys, check out LA Lim on Sundays, DAVIRadiolive.com. That's 2 to 6 p.m. When I saw you guys performing, I said, they are a team. They are a family. That's what I saw when you each performing. I saw three evenly yoked women. And so my next question would be, because there's a lot of younger women that are out there, we're 21 and over, okay? But for the girls and others, somebody said to me the other day, how old are you now? I said, over 21, sweetie. What do you want to know? Okay. But what would you want to say to the younger groups? Because I see, first of all, a lot of the music, I love you ladies, all the young ladies out there. A lot of the music doesn't have a lot of substance. Some of it, I don't know if they're writing for themselves or not. But I also see a lot of fighting. That reality show world, that bickering. Well, what do you attribute to the longevity? You're talking 10 years. 10 years. Shelly, I'm gonna let you start. What would you say how have you been hanging in there and how have you been maintaining this group? And I'm speaking to both of you, but I'm just asking you now first. What do you think kept you guys together as sisters?
Right. Like I mentioned earlier, we are constantly talking and inventing new ways of doing things and new shows and this and that. And we respect each other's opinion. Like we just did a great photo shoot, and instead of getting a stylist, really, we relied on ourselves and a few outside people. Hey, 99, if you're watching. But Kathy was the one that was able to, we each have skills that we draw on. So Kathy was the one that sort of said, this is what we're going to look like. And so we had 10 different outfits that she chose. Am I right, Wendy? It was,
pretty much.
it was mostly Kathy. She's got a great fashion forward sense. And so each one of us brings something to the table, and we have to like extract whatever that is. Wendy has been in the industry and in the business forever, so she's got the ear, and we create a great set list, which is good because Wendy does a lot of the heavy lifting in the show. By that I mean a lot of the high energy lead songs, and so we have to be careful she doesn't peter out on us because
bad girl, baby. That Wendy is a bad girl,
right?
Give me the hard stuff.
Yeah, she's got the hard stuff, right?
Wendy say, "Give me the hard stuff,
No,
baby."
yeah, the show is.
So
the
it's
show
it's
I won't say it's hard, but everybody puts in, enough to where we have a really great balance. I think everybody has a lot to offer the show, and so I digress with the heavy lifting. It's it's fun. It's fun.
Right.
So.
Wow. And what's interesting is that even to hear Shelly say,
Bobby said, right. She knows it's true.
it's true.
It's true. What I also like is that you hear,
Dobby said, right.
Right. And I also like to hear the way you compliment one another. The whole time, Shelly, you've been complimenting Wendy. Wendy's been complimenting you. You guys have been complimenting one another. And even with honestly, I hate that Kathy's not with us right now, because Kathy is really the first person amongst the group that I became close to. And the one that helped me make this possible. I said, listen, I want to interview you guys. I want to do the interview. This is what it is. I know we're going to announce a little bit of some new music tonight as well. And I said, I want to. And she said, girl, I'll talk to Shelly about it. And I'll talk to Wendy and we'll see. And I said, just let Shelly know that I'll make sure that it's, and she was, to think what you said about her style and then you said about Wendy doing the heavy lifting, that camaraderie that you have with one another, that's why the group is so successful also, along with the talent. It's that love and everything that you have. That is absolutely amazing. Louisa said you guys are fabulous. April Diamond is an incredible singer. April's on right now. She said, hey, ladies, what's up, April? I love you. Great music going around. Hey, girl, great music going around. So I have to ask, and we have a ton of other things, but this interview is going so fast. I love it. Tell us a little bit. Well, first of all, before we go right into it, I want to share a couple photos, and then I want you all to tell me a little bit about them as I share them. And there's some of them will come in between our pictures, but tell me a little bit about this one.
Okay, that looks like Atlantic City.
That's Atlantic City, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to Philly. We were booked by wonderful promoter Vanessa Jordan with her outdoor concert that she gives every year. And we were on that show with Lilo Thomas and Shirley Jones and the wonderful Ladies of Sky. And it was just a great, great concert. It was outdoors, so we were a little nervous that it was going to be hot, and because we have like I said, you've seen it, we have a high energy show. So, sure. but we made it through, and the people really enjoyed it. Go ahead, Wendy, you take that one.
Okay, that was Jamie Bradford's Hal Awards.
Love
show.
You, Jamie. Yeah.
Love Jamie.
Shout out to Jamie.
Love her. But yeah, that was an honor to perform there. They allowed us to be there, and we are happy about that. There were so many beautiful places and Motown artists, and people that are the classics that were in that audience that night. And I think I was a little bit nervous, and I don't get nervous on stage, but that night, yeah, a little bit.
I had the opportunity. Janie is such a sweetheart, and I don't know. Do you know Beth Griffith Manley? Beth
Yes.
Griffith, this brilliant singer.
Yes, she sang. Yes.
She's a singer. Father's an iconic, musician. And she introduced me to Janie in 2015. And Janie actually had me come out and host the red carpet a bunch of times for her. I did the Hal Award 3 years, even the final, the final 30-year anniversary, she called me herself to say, Davi, come out. Janie, if you see this show, I love you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. She said 30 years and I'm done. You guys take it from here and we're done. So just amazing, amazing. Tell me about this iconic pictures, and then we'll come back to pictures in a bit. This is one of my faves. I love this of the three of you. Who took this picture? Who took this picture, ladies?
Was that the photographer that Kathy was friends with, Wendy?
Oh gosh. I can't remember. I just remember this was our first photo shoot.
Yeah, and I've forgotten his name, but we were clowning, and he happened to catch us at the right time, and and there you have it. It just turned out to be a good shot. It was not planned, So
it's about that red lipstick, though, right?
I know it's about that red.
It's popping, girls.
I wore the red lipstick tonight just to commemorate that photo. That's what I wanted to tell you all. This red lipstick was just to commemorate that one, because I saw that and I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Now, I know that a little birdie told me that there's some new music on the horizon, and I want to hear about that. And I know that, if I'm not mistaken, this gentleman here has a lot to do with what's going on right now. So if you could just elaborate, tell us a little, as much as you possibly can.
I know, right? We got we can share. That is the ever wonderful 7-time Grammy winning Neil Pogue. He just recently won another Grammy, this last past Grammys. And he called one day and he said, I have a fantastic song I would love to do on you ladies. Can't give you the title, but he said, and I said, oh, wow. Okay. We'll say that it's sort of like a UK, British, kind of vibe. But we went into the studio, and of course it was Verdine White. I mean, we had almost all of Earth, Wind and Fire, I want to say, on the track. It was John, of course, and I think I mentioned that John, Verdine, and Neil have a partnership that they're called PWP LLC, and so we were in good hands with these guys, because each one of them is just so very excellent, and we plan to debut this single at Vibratos in March, and then from that point, we'll see what happens. We're looking forward to either a spring or early summer release.
Wow. It's when you speak about it, and even I'm just going to go back to this for a second, but when, we are celebrating Black History Month. And again, for me, I'm a Black woman every day, 365 days. However, when I see an amazing Black man sitting in front of these amount of awards, and when I hear you speaking of him that way, I have to say, for me, I always say Black excellence, and that's exactly what this is. And then supporting one another. So that's great. So you're going to be launching the song at Vibratos?
Yes. And as you see, that was only 5. He received 2 more since that picture.
Little cutie pie too.
Yeah, right. That's our Neil.
Well, Neil, congratulations to you. Just the DAVI Davenport Live loves everything that you're doing. So, Wendy, tell me a little bit for you. Like, what does this new music mean to you? How does it speak to your heart?
Well, it's always good to do something refreshing. It's keeping it moving, and and so we all know that the industry is a little different over in Europe. So we thought Europe, when we chose this song, or when Neil chose it for us, we all got to go to Europe. We want to get out of here and go to Europe. We want to travel some more, and this particular song was like, yes. It just, we dig it, and I don't know. It just, to me, it means travel.
Yeah.
Getting over to the other one.
So we want to say promoters and booking agents. If you're listening, which I'm sure some are, I did acquire the trademark to Honeycomb, and so there's won't be any issues in ever booking us all around the world, and so we're hoping that you were all, watching.
Wow. And actually a lot, somebody might say, well, what's the need to say that? Because it's just reality, it's real life. And the fact that you
Yes.
do have the ability. So right now there's so much confusion with who has the rights to do this. And so the fact is that if you want to book this amazing group with their pure geniuses, then you would absolutely want to do that. Wendy, one of the things that stood out, and actually Shelly shared this with me, that you're an actual NAACP recipient.
Yes.
She does her MJ voice. Yes.
Was that my MJ voice?
Oh, the MJ, yeah.
Well, yes. And thank you, Shelley, for sharing that. I don't know. All I can say is I've done a lot of things, and like we mentioned, I'm just blessed to have had a really good journey with this music industry. And yeah, I guess some folk decided that they wanted to get together and
Wow, yes. She's having some
in the industry, done a lot of things, and the the I would call it the blessing that I have of being on the road with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and for 15 years, and then there were no other African American women before or after. I think the only one that's done anything with Glenn Miller was the great Dorothy Dandridge, and she did a movie with them, Sun Valley Serenade. But before and beyond that, there's never been anybody, because it's it's the 40s big band.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you on that, actually.
I think that was a big deal for the NAACP.
And I thought about it because you think about awards. Yeah, that's huge. And when Wendy spoke about it with you, she was speaking about how proud of her sister she was. And when I think about the new music being launched at Vibratos, and for anyone that's out there also just doubling back, I wanted to ask Wendy about, because her NAACP award, Shelly told me about that, bragging about her sister, saying that, supporting her sister. And so what I want to say to everyone also, I think we're sold out for Vibratos. I'm not really sure, but you never know. You might be able to just show up at the door. Vibratos is going to be March the 10th. First of all, Vibratos is an amazing experience. The venue is incredible. Shout out to Eden. You're doing great jobs over there. A great job over there with your dad. And then also to see the ladies there on the stage, that it's crazy, because the stage of Vibratos, we talked about Wendy getting the award. We talked about your producer getting, but for me standing there, it reminds me of someone winning an award. I don't know when I saw you guys there for whatever, I told Lim, I said, Lim, I'm so fired up when I left. I had my little knee brace on that night, but it was like I saw you guys winning. It represented winning to me, and that's what I was really, really excited about. So here are your incredible husbands. And so I have this picture, and this is all of you together. And so this is such a wonderful, wonderful picture. When you think about, I love what Wendy said. Wendy said it helps that we're all in the same profession.
Yes.
And that my grandmother used to say that about my grandfather. She said, the fact that he understands who I am, or when I have a performance, it's okay. He gets it. He gets it. He gets it. So that's super exciting. Shelly, what do you want for, being the, 10 years ago, you brought the ladies in, you're the band leader, like you said, and nobody has a lead singer. I love what you said about that also. I believe in my real estate career, I tell the agents that we're teammates. I'm not your boss. I'm not your anything. We're teammates. We're peers. I may have a little additional information for you sometimes about this particular thing, like you might because of, 1968. However, we're teammate, we're peer. What is it that you personally want? And then Wendy, I'd like to ask you the same question, because believe it or not, we only have 6 minutes to go.
Wow.
What do you personally want for honey? I know, right? That's what I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, what?
That's when it's juicy, when it goes by fast. Let's see what our comments are from our amazing supporters also. Lim, I tried to get Lim to come on. Lim, you still have a little time if you want to come in and blow some kisses.
Lim.
Lim's family. I met you amazing ladies through Lim. I love you so much, Lim, and I have been friends. Lim has supported me and Davi Davenport Live from the very first day. I met Lim because he came out to see me host an event of about 2000
Yeah.
people, and he was there. And it's because
Wow.
I do a lot of events at Beverly Hills and higher. We had Melba Moore came out and performed for us and a bunch of other things. We have to get Honeycomb out for sure. Lim said family. And then Larry Dunn said it's so wonderful nowadays to see beautiful and talented women showing class, wisdom, love, and respect. Hallelujah. And that goes for you too, Davi. Of course it does, baby. And then Lim, now he says, how do I come on? Now you want to know. We're going to come right back to you, Lim. Shelley, what do you want what do you see? Where do you want the group to go from here? We have 10 years down and a lifetime to go. What do you want for next? What's up next? Not the next song, but what do you want for
Right, right. I say that the sky is the limit. And in this industry, you can't put it in a box. Everything in a way is a leap of faith. This group was a leap of faith because who knew 10 years ago that we would still be relevant today. And I mean, to me, the 70s music was always the best. So
Yes.
we have that in our favor. And I personally love when we work with our husbands. So, I mean, if I could do that all the time, that would be great. We sort of planned vibratos around all of their schedules. So that was a feat in itself. I mean, right down to calling the Earth, Wind, and Fire booking agent. And I said, look, we want to perform together. You can't book anything. So here's the date, and this is what it's going to be. Don't come up with anything else. So even though, we like when they work. And Wendy the same. Her husband is forever on the road. So we had to coordinate schedules. For the group, I just see so much on the horizon. And I mean, it goes to show you that, we're over 21. And I mean, in this day and age, you can Google everybody's age. So
that's what we said on the phone the other day. Honey, if you really need to know, just Google it, okay, baby? It's okay.
Just Google it, right?
You got me, honey. Over 21, but if you need to know more, Google it, honey. It's okay.
Yeah, well, we're all over 21, but I just like the fact that there are so many possibilities and so much out there that you can, don't put a limit on yourself as to what you can do. I mean, who knew in 1969 that Earth, Wind, and Fire would be this big still? I mean, they were just up for a Grammy. And I'm like, come on, you guys, this is crazy, right? The longevity is what makes you legendary. And so that's what I, want for this group. And I know that we're headed in the right direction, 10 years down and, 10, 15, 20 to go, in my opinion. But, I just feel like things will pick up. We have a great team. We have a great manager, Chris Rowe. We have great choreographer. We have Scott Frankfurt, who helps us in the studio. We have Neil Pogue, mixer, engineer, producer extraordinaire. I think you're as good as your team.
Yeah.
And because you can't do it alone,
You're as good as your team. That's a huge statement. You're only as good as your team. Lim and I talk about it all the time. LA Lim, I love you so much. Shout out to LA Lim every single Sunday on DAVIRadiolive.com. I love you. You're only as good as your team. That is what it is. It's the same thing with the family. If the family is divided, that's the team. It's not there. It's the same thing with an organization. And when I see the cohesiveness that you have, when I see, and then before we wrap, I want to ask you, what do you want the viewer to know? But Wendy, I'm going to go, what do you want? What do you see? And we're wrapping it up. I can't believe that I just said it was only 6 something and now it's 6:59. We're going to run 2 minutes over. But Wendy, what do you want for yourself and for the group for Honeycomb in the future? What is it that you're looking forward to?
Well, I love the music, like I said before. It's great music. And I love the live stage. I love live music. And so just to be on stage with these wonderful ladies and performing these classic songs. I dig it. I'd like to take it abroad and, uh,
Yes.
hit the world with it. We love it here, but it's time to get, to get off the porch.
Ooh. You
Get
know,
out and
you,
share some
Wendy, you're
more with
far
the
off
world.
the porch, honey. I'm sorry. You guys are way off the porch, girl. You in the deep end now, baby girl. Okay. And shout out to everyone that's been tuning in. Louisa said, "Amen to that." Yvonne Stewart, I love you so much. Thank you. She said, "I love Honeycomb. Best wishes. I love the version of the tracks of
Thank
my tears." Thank you so much. Louisa said again, it's great to have some real music. Yvonne, I want to say thank you so much to Yvonne Stewart for supporting DAVI Radio Los Angeles. Davi Davenport Live in LA. Lynn, everything we do, you support us. Thank you. You're iconic yourself. We could not do anything that we do without the support of the viewers and just everyone around. Thank you, ladies, for today. Ellie, what do you want to leave? And Wendy, I'm going to ask you the same question. I have to get you ladies back on again, and we have to do one where we're in the same studio also. I'm gonna have to find out what Earth, Wind, and Fire schedule is before I get you. I'm gonna say, Shelly, can you check to see where the boys are? When
Right.
can you check and see where the boys are? Kathy, can you check and see what is it that? And we also need to get your social media
Oh yeah.
for everyone can follow you. But what is it that you want the viewer to know about Honeycomb that maybe they didn't know today? Doesn't have to be about a song, whatever it is that you want them to know. What do you want to leave the viewer with today, Shelly?
I'm just glad that uh, we have been around since the '60s. Wait, what?
I know. Wait a minute, Shelly. Let me just stop you for a second. I do not believe you, number one. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think you cloned yourself, one of those 3D figures, or they made you up or something like that, because there's no way. Body yaddy yaddy, skin fantastic, glowing, just snatched. I said, girl, you have not been in anything since the 60s, anything, and that's a fact, and I know it. But what is it? What is it? I was like, what's the magic, girl? But what is it that
I mean, I'm happy that our like you said earlier, we can't do this without the fans. Evidently, they love us. I started uh, our Facebook page because I had pressure from fans saying, "Where are you, ladies?" And so um, I just say, thank you to everyone that's been so supportive of us all these years. We're nothing. It's just a big old rehearsal without any of you. And I'm glad that we are continuing to inspire and uplift. And even though our lyrics are sometimes a little bit in your face, a little bit raw. Um,
okay?
still we do it, we do it with love. We do it with sassy love. But that's what I say. I'm glad that we can. I know it's Black History Month, but it's just basically history. It's History Month
Yes,
all the
yes.
all the time. And
One
so
ads,
we
baby, up in your face. Put it in the one ads,
put
baby.
in the one ad.
Yes,
And I have to
yes.
tell you, all three of our husbands are happy that they answered that ad.
Yeah, well, you know what? I bet they are. Nothing is like what I see. You can see the transparency with all of you. When I had the opportunity of seeing all of you at Vibratos together, and I could see together on that stage, you can actually see that it's not just the talk. You guys you honestly have a cohesive family there. Your husbands are really happy. Wendy, what is it that you want to leave the viewer with of Davi Davenport Live today?
What is that again? I'm sorry, cut out.
I said, what would you like to leave the viewer with Davi Davenport Live today? What do you want to share today? What is that you'd like to leave the viewer with?
Well, I'd like to say thank you all for tuning in and listening and sharing some time with us today. I know you had a lot of stuff that you could have been doing, but you shared it with us. So we just hope to
Yes.
see you out there in the world somewhere. And, maybe we can do a show or two for you and just be friends. And we just love you. And thank you.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Well, guys, this interview has been incredible. There are no words to express my gratitude. And for anyone that's out there right now, we know that there are a lot of people in the world right now that are, we're sitting here today and we're having a wonderful time, just three girls chatting, but there are people that are out there that are homeless. We know it. Guys, let's get outside of ourselves. For any of the viewers, let's get outside of ourselves. If you have some left, rather than throwing some of the produce away, put it together, make a meal, make some spaghetti, take it to the street. For any homeless needs, you can go to United Way, call 211. We know there are a lot of people that are out there right now that are struggling with domestic violence. We see it every single day. This is the domestic violence hotline, 800-799-7233. Do not be afraid. And also, if you're struggling and you're thinking about harming yourself, if you think that this is no longer where I want to be, 800-273-8255, or reach out to me, guys, 323-239-0239. People say you're crazy to give your number. I'm not crazy. I don't want to know that a life that I could have saved could have been there. And guys, also for anyone that's out there, you have any real estate needs, reach out to your girl, 21 years in the business, 323-239-0239, 323-239. I take care of your family like I would take care of mine. I love you ladies so much.
Thank you. We love you.
The only thing I will say, I hate that Kathy wasn't able to jump on with us today. You definitely represented her in an amazing way. Louisa said, we miss Kathy. Yes, we do also. Yvonne said, love the show today, Davi. I love you, Yvonne. Marshall said, legendary. Oh, Marshall said that from the Shy Lights. He said he's tuning in. What's up, Marshall? Chi-Town in the house. What's up? And Louisa said, love you ladies like crazy. Jean is on. Jean's going to be there on the 10th. We love you, Jean. Jean Roberts.
Oh, Jean, look here. Jean, Jean is everywhere.
I know. She's like, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. I'll be there.
She's everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, I love you. And Larry, I love you more. Larry said, love you, Davi, because you don't talk the talk. You absolutely beyond walk the walk. Thank you, Larry. God bless you forever as well. Louisa said, great show. Jean sent hearts house to you guys. And Larry said that would be, we love you, Davi. Thank you so much. Ladies, thank you for today. I cannot wait to see you on the 10th. I want to get I told Shelly already. Shelly said, just let me make sure let me know what you want me to say. I said, I need to get a quick little interview. And Lim is going to actually be joining us. Well, he thought he was going to be out of town. He thought he was going to be out for business, but he will be with us. So we're going to all be there together. I'm super excited. Thank you for today.
Did I let everyone know where our social media is? Okay, real quick, because I know you have to go.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Okay. For all of you that don't follow me, get over to the Legendary Honeycomb page, and then on Instagram, it's official Honeycomb on Instagram, TikTok Reels, and what is it? Twitter? No, it's X. Now it's X. So that's our social media platforms. So follow us and interact with us. I'm always posting almost every day. So, something new, something behind the scenes. So we can't wait to see you.
That's the official Honeycomb page. Guys, make sure you go to the official Honeycomb page. If you're not following...
That's Instagram. It's Legendary on Facebook.
Oh, it's Legendary.
Legendary Honeycomb on Facebook. Official Honeycomb on Instagram.
Legendary Honeycomb on Facebook and official on Instagram. Guys, If you're not following these ladies, you're crazy. And this has been an amazing experience. I love you so much.
Love you.
I look forward to seeing you on the 10th. And guess what I'll be in? Black and gold, baby.
Oh, hey.
Coming in there lit up like a Christmas tree. They're going to be like, that's my girl.
We'll see you there.
Thank you, guys. I love you both.
Thank you.
Love you too. Be kind, everybody. Be kind.
Bye-bye. Love.
Bye-bye, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.